Okay, here it is, people. This is the quick, easy, poor man's way to make decals for models, transfers to put on glass, wood, canvas, that kind of thing. I've talked about this to friends all the time. I thought this is the quickest and easiest way to do it. Okay, so this is what you need. A paintbrush. Cheap and nasty one because you're going to kill it. This is the stuff. There we go. Gloss heavy gel. Comes in a matte as well, but essentially, from what I understand, it's basically acrylic paint without the pigment in it. You can actually use acrylic paint to do it, but if you use a colour, it's going to have that colour through it as well. Okay, so the tricky bit here is print your image out on normal A4 paper. You're probably better off using a laser print, because I don't believe that no matter how good an inkjet is, it's most likely going to bleed. So an inkjet print on normal A4 paper. Once you've done that, get your stuff, put it on your brush, and start painting like so, putting layers over it. I found 3 nice big lumpy layers. I found that nice big thick globs. The thicker it is, the stronger it is, and you'll understand why later on. I've been impatient in the past, and I've found that I've used heat guns and all that to try to speed up the drying process. It does work, does get you out of trouble, but sometimes the gunk isn't as strong as it probably could have been. This is one I've already done, 3 coats on, and you can start to see the texture coming through here. That can work out in your favour. Obviously, the more anal you are with your brush strokes or a finer brush, you won't get that, but for the desired effect that I'm going for, I want that. To give you an idea of how effective and how this technique can get you out of trouble, we had to go to the premiere to Rogue One there at one stage, and we didn't have time to paint the stripes here. Much to my mate's horror, I improvised and printed out the stripes. Now this is nearly a year later and it's still sticking there. I mean, it's a bit rough as guts, but because it wasn't meant to be a permanent thing, but you can see it does work, and on the night it got us out of trouble. Okay, here we go. So it's pretty straightforward. Water in a tin. You can use a plastic one if you want, but put the print upside down like so. Let it soak. You'll know it's starting to do it because it'll go all nice and almost transparent, even like this. Just let it sit in there as long as you can. Now, there's plenty of videos on YouTube on telling you how to do this. I usually just like scraping it with my finger. As I said, the more gunk you put on the initial thing, the thicker that plasticky thing's gonna hold up, so you can get a bit more aggressive with the rubbing. But as you can see here, see what I'm doing? I'm rubbing and rubbing, and you can see the print starting to come through. Basically, where the water's eating the paper away and the image has been transferred onto our gel plasticky gunky stuff. Okay, so you keep doing that. Sometimes if you want it, you can work both ways, where you don't have to worry about taking too much off and you still have a bit of a ghostly look, because depending, you might want to decide to put it, instead of having it flipped, you might want to put it front on, and yeah, there's ways around everything a fair bit. Anyway, it's very truly satisfying when you start seeing the image come through, but you get a point where it's getting too milky, it's too much gunk in the way, you can't see where you're at. This is where I usually take it out, well, not so much take it out, empty the water, clean out all that yucky paper, pulp, and just keep doing it in a fresh batch of water. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so this is at the moment in its current state with fresh water. Give you a rough idea where we're at. On first glance you think, oh shit, you know, that's pretty bloody good. But when this dries out, you can see this all goes all ghostly and becomes really white, so the more you can get off, the better. But the good news is, I mean, no one's going to judge you, so if you mess up and you leave the littlest bit of polyp, it won't really matter, because the other side is probably going to cover it up anyway. Alright, so you can see straight away here, we've still got all this to do, and then we get into the finer bits. But you can kind of see where it's going. See, it's almost transparent as it is. So we'll keep going. We'll see how we go. Okay, so that was round 2. And as you can see, I've got pretty much all of it gone. There's still a little bit of ghost there, but like I said, it's not going to bother me for what I want to do it for. Gaming people will probably already work out what this is. This is Vault Boy from the Fallout games, and the design is meant to be rough, so that's why it's a win-win for me. So if I rip it or whatever, it's not going to make any difference. But one thing you do need to be careful of, as you can see here, I've already ripped it here because the layer of the gel was probably a little bit too thin, because I focus mostly on the character, because I have plans of cutting around a little bit more tighter, so that's collateral damage. So anyway, it's pretty much, I'm happy with that. As I said, if we dried it, you'll probably find it will go a bit ghostly, so it's probably just pays, just if you see a bit of ghost there, get it off, like here on his shirt. Still a little bit there, just a little bit there. Main things are your focal points. People are going to pick the crap out of it. You might as well just, lines like that. But as I said, you've got a bit of a get out of jail free card, because they're not going to see this side. It's all about the other side, see? So let's see how we go. So I'm pretty much okay. So we're going to get scissors and we're going to cut around just a little bit, just to neaten it up. Just, this here is my little plastic window that belongs to the side of my PC case. Yes, it's deliberately wet. I've just dampened it a little bit, and we're going to go from there. So I've trimmed him up a little bit. There's still a little bit of white on there. I will be honest with you, I don't know if it's because the gunk I'm using, my gel, it's a little bit old, and she's been in a hot shed for a few months, so it's a little bit more opaque than normal. It's a little bit thicker than normal too, but it doesn't matter, it'll still do the same job. Probably just not as good as it could be. So I'd probably highly recommend you use newer stuff. Anyway, here we go. Moment of truth. Thankfully, it's not as bad as using like adhesive tape or anything like that. You've got a bit of room to move and get all the air bubbles out and what have you. So that's what I'm doing here. As I said, this is the back or the inside of the window. So we've got a little bit of give. So I see, like here for example, I've decided to move him. It's almost like the old days of throwing our old toilet paper up against the wall in the schoolyard. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Anyway, there we go. That's it. Simple as that. Flatten it out. No air bubbles. Yeah, it's a bit wider than I normally. It's usually a little bit more transparent than that. So it's a bit of a disappointment there, but doesn't matter. Let's see how we go. So when we flip it over, oh yeah, pretty bloody good. Works for me. So it'll dry, and hopefully I think maybe that could be it too, because it's wet. It looks, the white is really white on this, but when it dries it should look pretty bloody good. But there you go. I mean, some people would say, why don't you just use a sticker? Well, you probably could, but hopefully that will go transparent. Time will tell, i.e. a couple of hours. Yummy. Alright, so here is my Fallout inspired case. As you can see, there's deliberately worn stickers. A little Vault Boy figurine up top. And here's the moment of truth. And there we have it, boys and girls. Still hasn't completely dried. I mean, if you really wanted to get anal about it, you could cut, right in there with a Stanley knife or an X-Acto knife. But it's transparent enough. Nice blue lighting inside. So it works for me.